You know, this whole past week, I had this single question on my mind. And that question is, why should y'all listen to me? I mean, what one big idea do I have to share with you that you haven't heard already? And so, because I'm not a crypto mega billionaire, sadly, I'm not the most popular YouTube blogger in Lithuania, fortunately. I haven't done any internships at NASA or studied at Harvard. And so I'm not that smart in talking about, smart things, but I am pretty good at generating dumb ideas. And in fact, I always think that was my super strength in life. In fact, when I was in 10th grade, I decided that it is more important to cook secret sandwiches and sell them in school than studies that would dictate the rest of my life. And when it came time in 11th grade to choose the lessons that you're going to study for the rest of your life and you're going to hone in, I decided to pick the minimal amount of lessons so that I could focus on building a business in a garage that we rented out. And so I'm not the best role model in terms of textbooks. I finished my math exam by 1 point. If it was 1 point below, I would fail. But I am super grateful that throughout I always had people around me that would support my dumb ideas, that would support me being the dumb idea generator that I am. Like that one time when we dressed our friend with a fake mustache, and then we sent him off to buy alcohol when he was 16 years old, and the legal age limit at that time was 20. And we thought, this is the dumbest idea ever. This is never gonna work, right? And then we made a video about it because it worked. Dumb idea, but it actually worked. But the most shocking one of them all was when I was 16 years old. And I remember this vividly. I would go every morning to school and I would see this old abandoned Volvo just standing there. And one Monday evening, I decided, what would happen if I would actually buy it, Again, the dumbest idea ever. The owner's probably dead. There's something with the documents, But it was a Monday morning and it was dark outside. I decided just to screw it. And so I knocked on the door and this old man exits out the door. And he's standing there and I'm standing here and we're just both looking at each other. And turns out it was actually his car. And so things escalate from there. I get his phone number, wink, wink. And we go there on a Saturday. So it was me, my brother, and my brother's friend. And we try to start it up. And after a couple of tries, we actually managed to get it running. And so I'm all sleazy and, I'm ready to ask the question, okay, so how much do you want for this car? And he says nothing. And I'm like, what do you mean by nothing? What nothing? And he says, €1. So yeah, I bought this car for €1. I swear to God, that's a true story. Now, totally expected, totally planned, absolutely knew it. Now, what am I trying to tell you with all of these stories? These stories have a single underlying theme in all of them. Now I'm super grateful to be in a position where I'm at right now. I'm 19, I can travel the world. We're building this fabulous agency called Candy with 2 other fabulous co-founders. We have a great team, we have great products, we have great clients. Now, to give you some context of what we do is we actually take e-commerce brands and then we scale them with paid social media ads and optimization work. And obviously, during this whole time, we had a lot of failures, a lot of mistakes, but I think all of those mistakes have actually set us on the right path to where we are right now. And our goal is to actually help people by bringing great products to the market. And obviously, during this whole process, I worked my ass off, right? I never had any fun, never had any weird looks, never had any crazy parties, never bought inflatable unicorns just to go down slopes on a Tuesday. Absolutely never. Never. Even our website's hiring page says that we're looking for people to join our Illuminati master plan. So you can really tell that we're really serious people. Really serious people. So anyway, that's the theme that I want to touch on in this talk. But in order for me to do that, let's go back in time to a time when I was 9 years old. And when I was 9 years old, me and my parents actually traveled to Italy. And when we got back home, I decided that I want to make movies. And I made my first ever real movie. Are you ready to see it? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Okay. Let's see it. Yeah, so you could really tell I was a talent in the making, almost some Cannes Film Festival material. Anyway, but that was just my hobby, My real business ventures actually started out when I made my first ever real digital business. And it was a Minecraft server. And so I made ads for my server. I built custom lobbies. I programmed games. I even went into the code and set up plugins. And I even had product market fit. 5 people came. So anyway, I dropped Minecraft because it was clearly not working, and I pursued filmmaking instead. And when I was in school, I was freelancing on the side, getting some side gigs, earning a bit of money whenever anyone recommended me. I mean, I'm still a kid. But it was all about to change because I fell sick. I fell sick for 2 weeks, and it was December 22nd of 2017, and I marked this date as the biggest epiphany date ever in my life, ever. And so, to give you some context, those prior 14 days to this date actually consisted of me waking up, then I would watch this show called Top Gear, and then I would go to sleep. So I would wake up, watch Top Gear, and I would go to sleep. I would wake up, watch Top Gear, and I would go to sleep. And then I would wake up and watch Top Gear. You get the point. So anyway, after 14 days of nonstop entertainment, your brain starts to become numb. And you start asking yourself all these philosophical questions. Questions like, what am I doing with my life? What's my life's purpose? And the answer to that would probably be not much, right? I mean, all of us have big dreams and big ambitions. We all want to live in beautiful houses, have beautiful wives, husbands, dance in front of sunsets. But I wasn't doing anything much about it, And, that Lambo isn't going to buy itself, right? And so I had stories that I told myself, the usual stories, I need to finish university, I need to graduate, I need to finish school, I need to find a stable job. I mean, all of this is completely required, right? But then I realized, wait, these are kind of the similar stories I told myself previously, and it didn't turn out that way. And so I thought, what if I'm just too dumb? I mean, obviously, I have all the time in the world if I can watch TV shows all day, right? So that means I'm just not utilizing that time. And when I realized that, my dumbness actually sparked this natural curiosity. And so I became so hungry for knowledge. And I typed into YouTube how to become a millionaire. And now, at 19 years old, I'm proud to say, it didn't work. I'm still not a millionaire. But these videos did actually teach me a lot, that you have to read a lot, and you have to work a lot, and you have to fail a lot. And these things just kind of crossed over my head. And this was the deal breaker for me, because I realized that the more books I read, the smarter I became. And so if I read 5 practical books on managing finances, I'd be 5 books more ahead than the guy who didn't read them. And so this is just a no-brainer solution for me. So again, this dumbness actually sparked natural curiosity, and I wanted to learn so much. And so naturally, I got a lot of ideas after learning. And I asked myself, okay, so now how do I apply it all into practice? And I wrote hundreds of emails to companies saying that I'll do work for them for free, because I realized that my value in the marketplace was low. And I didn't have any portfolio work to back me up. And so from these emails, from this free work that I did, I got my first clients. And I controlled everything. I could actually send emails and get clients. So that was, again, a no-brainer for me. And from those first clients, we actually landed our first ever clients. And then we made our agency in the garage. And we've always figured during this whole process that if we fail for some reason, then I would hop on a bike and I would just deliver food and we'd figure it out. And, one of the, we had some amazing projects and a lot of fun doing all of this, but one of the great dumb ideas that we actually had was when we realized that we're dumb at marketing, because we're a young marketing agency, all of us are 16, 17. So what we did is we invited industry experts to talk one-on-one and ask them questions that were relevant to us. And so we then called it a podcast and uploaded it to YouTube. And then we got our first clients from that. So after some years passed, I then went off and co-founded Candy. And during this growth period that we're experiencing right now, I learned this one thing about ads that I want to share with you about running great ads. Now, in order for us to scale businesses, we have to test a lot of creatives. We have to see which one of these creatives on social media actually performs the best, which generates the most profitable sales. So let's say we create like 6 different ad creatives for the same brand, for the same offer, and then we launch all of them with the same budget. So let's say $10 each. And after some time passes, we actually can see measurably and quantifiably which one of these creatives performs the best. So let's say it's creative number 4. And then we can actually launch this creative with bigger budgets because we know it works. And this process never ends. We constantly have to be innovating and testing and watching which winners are winners. And, even if we have success, and the beauty of it all is that we can see results in real time and we can see results measurably and quantifiably. And what matters in business is results, right? And this is the kicker. What we found after testing thousands of ad creatives is that a lot of times the dumbest and the weirdest ideas perform the best. Now, why? Why is that? Usually in business, we think that the smartest people get the best results. But I don't think that's always the case. Because when you think you're smart, you become complacent. When you think you're smart, you stop innovating because you know it all. You stop creating because you know what works. And you stop delegating because only you can do the work the best. And so what happens is that a lot of businesses, when they're creating ads, they're using these brain-dead approaches that everyone else is using. They're doing things by the textbook. And what happens is that they look like everyone else. All of their ads look the same. And then you might ask, okay, well, what if all of your dumb ideas fail? What do you do then? And the answer to that is, well, that's great. That's awesome. That means that we're not smart enough and we have to understand the customer better in order to make the ads perform. So being dumb actually enables us to create ideas that would actually break out through all the noise and would be actually interesting to watch in the feed. And if we fail at that, that means we have an opportunity to improve. And so this is the paradox of being dumb. When you realize that you're dumb, you in turn become smarter because you want to bridge that gap. You're never satisfied because you always realize that you're dumb. And I would always prefer to be the dumb one in the group because you never have a self-image that you have to live up to. You always ask questions instead of being the right person. And you don't care about your appearance because you're always dumb. You're the dumb one already. So it's really more fun, but also it's way less stressful. I love watching and reading YouTube comments, especially below songs, because you can see how people interpret them. And this question and this comment really stuck with me. And it said that I treat people like crap because I'm just so stressed. I like music like this. It helps. And this got me thinking, so why are people actually rude? If I was a smartass, I immediately would say, because they're bad people, or because they're X, or they're Y, or they're Z, because I know the right answer, right? But because I realized that I'm kind of dumb, I don't know the right answer. So really, why is he like that? And what I found is that a lot of times I'm just not smart enough to understand that person. I don't know what he's going through. I don't know whether that person that just yelled at me suffered a divorce or whatever. So I'm too dumb to realize that. And now, let me be completely honest with you here. This talk isn't about being dumb or being smart. This talk is more about self-awareness. And I learned this lesson the hard way, actually during one of the most fundamental events in my childhood. And that was when I was 10 years old. And when I was 10 years old, my parents actually got a divorce. And it was a nasty divorce with lawyers and everything. And at that time, this 10-year-old child understood that maybe parents don't have it all figured out. Maybe those smiley faces behind the covers of magazines hide something darker. Maybe that successful business isn't so successful because of poor financial decisions. And maybe that new BMW X5 or that Lambo was leased out of borrowed money. Maybe adults just aren't that smart. This might sound weird, but I love watching ants. I think they're fascinating. They're always like fighting and struggling and running. But they're so little, like you could squeeze one with a finger and they're dead. And their life's purpose is building this ant nest, which is like a 2x2. And if we decide to build an industrial complex there, it's gone completely, forever, like bulldozed off the floor. And nobody cares. And all of their like thousands of ant colonies are dead. And nobody bats an eye. And they seem so stuck, so brittle. Their life seems so meaningless. Their whole purpose is just gone. My greatest lessons in life actually came when I realized how insignificant I really am. You know, because I don't know. I don't know whether my friend lost his mother. I don't know whether that child suffered a divorce. I don't know whether, you know, that friend's business had a bankruptcy. You know, I simply don't know. It took me 14 days to realize, of watching TV shows at age 16, to realize that I'm just this little tiny speck in the universe, traveling through space and time, and one day, I too will die. And now, whether I want to do something about it or not, it's completely up to me. And I think that's the greatest freedom of all. And if I can, I would like to do something about it. But when we transmute our importance from ourselves, and then we realize that our importance is just an illusion created by our egos, and that really all of us are kind of like these dumb ants. And then what happens is we become more receptive to new ideas. We become more open to give love, to receive love. We become more suggestive to new ideas. And I think we become smarter. So it took me 14 days to realize that I'm this dumb little ant. And I hope it'll take you less than that. And maybe you'll even get lucky and buy a Volvo for €1. Thank you.